Right, let's get it together here.
Yeah.
When you own $1.1 trillion worth of U.S. Treasuries, certainly it's in your interest that Congress figures this out. And those were the comments of the finance minister of Japan, Taro Aso, speaking on Friday in a Bloomberg TV interview. He was in Washington for the IMF and World Bank meetings. He said it's up to the U.S. government to figure this one out. It's up to Congress to make the tough decisions, and the White House, of course. And he said it's not a matter of what we should do, we being Japan. Now, he was asked, of course, if Japan needed to look at its asset allocations in U.S. Treasuries. We know that last week, Taro Aso said it's a major worry, it's a big issue for Japan, and Japan's government now studying the impact of what a default would mean for its bond holdings. I want you to listen into some further comments by the Japanese finance minister.
しかし、アメリカも少なくとも
Well, at least looking at the U.S. side, Secretary Liu and the members of the U.S. government seems to have a full understanding of what this situation really means. But we must wonder to what extent Congress understands this fact, the very fact that it could give big repercussions to the rest of the world. But anyway, we expect very much that this issue to be resolved by 17th.
So Japan, the second biggest holder of U.S. Treasuries. China, number one, 1.3 trillion, and China's deputy finance minister spoke last week on this very topic.
Yeah, but anyway, so I like the fact that Taro uses that as well. It was a busy weekend in D.C. at the IMF World Bank meetings, and we've been hearing from a lot of global leaders, financial leaders, and their concerns about going over this U.S. debt ceiling into technical default, including from Christine Lagarde, who says that this could tip, yet again, the global economy into recession.
Absolutely, and I know you mentioned earlier she was on Meet the Press on NBC News over the weekend, and she said, listen, this issue basically took over the IMF meetings over the weekend, that many foreign leaders came to town and realized the severity of this situation. Lagarde saying it would be a huge degree of disruption, this lack of certainty, major concern. We've seen the comments from China that I just mentioned. Saudi Arabia has weighed in. Japan putting some pressure diplomatically on the U.S. to figure this out. But you're seeing foreign governments clearly concerned. The global economy, as we've heard from economists of every stripe, would take a major hit.
Yeah, and what I found really interesting of Christine Lagarde's comments was she's saying if we do cross over this debt deadline, you have no trust anymore in the U.S. signature, meaning U.S. treasuries, T-bills, and dollars as well.
Absolutely. And you heard the U.S. Treasury Secretary Jack Lew late last week saying this would be reckless, irresponsible.
Catastrophic.
Catastrophic. No one has used the word criminal yet, but that comes to mind as well. October 17th, the deadline here, Susan.
Okay. Zeb, thank you so much.